Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for over 165 million years, longer than any other animal group has dominated our planet. But it was an asteroid impact around 66 million years ago that finally ended their reign. So what if that asteroid missed Earth entirely? What would our planet look like today? Would humans even exist? Let's take a journey into an alternate Earth where dinosaurs never went extinct. If you've ever seen a movie like The Croods, you may get an idea of how this alternate reality would work. Humans share a common ancestor with today's primates, but those ancestors were small, shrew-like creatures that lived in the shadow of the dinosaurs. It was only when the dinosaurs suddenly vanished that mammals had their moment in the sun. Here are a few examples of animals who owe their success to the asteroid impact. In fact, the sudden absence of dinosaurs gave rise to a whole new age called the Cenozoic era, which began about 66 million years ago and continues to this day. This era was marked by the rise of mammals and eventually, 300,000 years ago, the emergence of Homo sapiens. The problem for our prehistoric ancestors is that the asteroid impact also wiped out around 75% of all plant species. Although plants were not the target of the impact, the debris thrown into the atmosphere caused global temperatures to plummet, leading to an ice age. As forests died off, grassland expanded, forcing early humans to migrate to warmer areas. Yet somehow they survived, and after thousands of years, the climate began to warm again, leading to the world we know today. But if the asteroid never struck, Homo sapiens wouldn't stand a chance. We would have been outcompeted for food and maybe even hunted down by the dinosaurs themselves. So let's start with the asteroid impact. About 66 million years ago, a massive rock about 6 miles wide slammed into what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. This cosmic collision triggered devastating wildfires and strong earthquakes, shaking the Earth for weeks. But its most significant impact was its immediate effect on the weather. Huge amounts of dust and ash were thrown into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and dramatically changing the global climate. This caused temperatures to plummet as much as 18 degrees Fahrenheit in a matter of days, plunging the planet into darkness. This impact led to one of the most famous mass extinctions in Earth's history, wiping out nearly 75% of all species, including all non-avian dinosaurs. The environmental changes triggered by the impact persisted for years, causing dramatic shifts in the planet's climate and ecosystem. As the dust and debris settled, the oceans became acidic, making it difficult for shells and skeletons to form. Plants struggled to photosynthesize without sunlight, leading to mass food chains were disrupted, causing extinctions across the globe. Birds were also drastically affected, with about 75% of avian species disappearing. Fish populations plummeted by up to 80%, and insects were significantly reduced in diversity and abundance. But it wasn't just the asteroid impact that caused this mass extinction. Scientists believe a series of other factors contributed to the loss of so much biodiversity. For example, many scientists believe that volcanic eruptions in India around the same time released massive amounts of greenhouse gases and ash into the air. This would have contributed to global warming and altered weather patterns, which in turn affected species distribution and survival. Additionally, rising sea levels due to melting ice caps may have led to habitat loss and coastal erosion, further stressing ecosystems and species. These multiple stressors overwhelmed the ability of many species to adapt, contributing to the rapid and widespread extinctions. But let's go back in time before all this happened. If this asteroid never hit Earth, our planet would have looked quite different. The climate itself would have been much warmer, potentially with higher levels of carbon dioxide and methane in the atmosphere. This would have led to higher average temperatures and more extreme weather events such as hurricanes, typhoons, and heavy rainfall. As the Earth's climate shifted, the global ecosystem would have changed dramatically. The continents would have been covered in lush, dense forests inhabited by many kinds of dinosaurs. There would have been giant herds of herbivorous dinosaurs such as sauropods and ornithopods grazing in open areas, and among them, smaller metatine dinosaurs such as dromaeosaurs would have stalked their prey. The oceans would have been teeming with ichthyosaurs, plesiosaurs, and mosasaurs, massive marine reptiles, perfectly adapted for a life in the water. These giants would have been the apex predators of the seas, feeding on the huge variety of fish and other marine creatures. Given millions of more years to evolve, many dinosaurs could have become even more intelligent. Some species were already showing signs of high brain-to-body ratio. For example, the clever raptors may have developed more complex social structures, communication and hunting strategies, possibly using tools and weapons. Others, like sauropods, might have adapted to new environments, evolving physical features like feathers, color changes, camouflage, or new hunting techniques. Over time, many species of dinosaurs could have flourished in new habitats, ruling the diverse landscapes of this ancient Earth. Some dinosaurs were already adept at climbing trees and flying through the air. With more time, they could have become even more airborne. Birds evolved from theropod dinosaurs, and several groups of dinosaurs were already capable of limited flight. Given millions more years, dinosaurs could have mastered the skies, becoming magnificent winged creatures soaring above the Earth. So what would life be like for other species in this world? Without the pressure of the asteroid impact, mammals would have continued to live in the shadows of the dinosaurs. They would remain small, nocturnal creatures hiding from the dangers of the day. The ecological space for larger mammals simply wouldn't have existed in a world dominated by giants. Small mammals might have found refuge in burrows, trees, or hidden crevices, surviving on insects and vegetation. Over millions of years, some species might have evolved nocturnal behaviors, keen senses, agility, and intelligence to navigate their environment and evade predators. While birds would have been present, they might have played a different role in the ecosystem as dinosaurs took to the skies. Many modern birds are descendants of dinosaurs, and the absence of the asteroid impact could have led to more types of birds with various sizes, colors, and abilities. They might have coexisted with dinosaurs, feeding on insects and fruit, or even scavenging for food. Some birds could have evolved to feed on carcasses left behind by dinosaurs, filling a niche similar to today's vultures. And then there are humans. In this timeline, we wouldn't exist as we do today. Humans share a common ancestor with today's primates, but those ancestors were small, shrew-like creatures that lived in the shadow of the dinosaurs. It was only when the dinosaurs suddenly vanished that mammals had their moment in the sun. The oldest human ancestors might have continued to live in this alternate reality, but they wouldn't have had the ecological space to grow and thrive. Instead, they might have remained small, nocturnal creatures for millions more years. But let's dream big. What if humans did evolve in this world? We would face incredible challenges. Surviving alongside giant predators would require advanced tools, weapons, and strategies. Humans might have become expert at hiding, climbing, or even forming alliances with certain dinosaur species. In a world where dinosaurs never went extinct, Earth's climate would be vastly different. The atmosphere might be warmer and more humid, supporting vast jungles and wetlands. The asteroid impact led to a mass extinction, but also to the formation of new ecosystems and habitats. Without the impact, Earth's climate and environment would reflect the continued dominance of dinosaurs. Plants would have evolved alongside these massive herbivores, possibly resulting in unique trees, flowers, and plants we can only imagine. The balance between predators and prey would have been delicate and constantly shifting. As new species evolved and adapted to survive, we may never know exactly what Earth would look like if dinosaurs never went extinct. But one thing is clear: it would have been a world ruled by giants, a world vastly different from our own. The asteroid impact that wiped out the dinosaurs is one of the most significant events in Earth's history. It shaped our planet and its inhabitants, paving the way for the rise of mammals and eventually humans. But what if this event never occurred? What if the asteroid missed Earth entirely? In an alternate timeline where dinosaurs never went extinct, our planet would be a world of giants, a world vastly different from our own. It would be a world where dinosaurs continued to roam the Earth, where mammals lived in fear, and where humans might have never evolved. So, what do you think? How would you feel living in a world where dinosaurs roam free? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more amazing science and what-if stories, and ring the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching.